One last thing I got to bring up before we get into this. Again, I'm sorry. Disorganized as always. Good Lord. Something really interesting happened today, or well, I found out about something today that was really interesting. In fact, I couldn't quite believe it. So this is a really interesting development in the world of Nick Rekieta, we'll say. Do you guys remember it was around March 22nd or May 22nd of last year? It was right around then, right around May 22nd, like maybe that night and going into the, or no, 21st, 20th and 21st, I think it was. Yeah, it was the 20th going into the 21st. Do you guys remember? I was on a bunch of substances and a lot of alcohol, and I had a stream that kind of was a disaster. And because of that stream, I would be arrested a couple days later. Maybe you guys have heard about it. I'm not sure. So one of the things I was doing on that stream, if you guys remember, was there's a judge who I said was a bad judge who didn't know the law, didn't know shit. And actually that I also said, although this is unverified, these are unverified rumors, that liquor pours out of her lady bits. I think I said, and I was like, where did I come up with that? Like, that's really weird. I probably need more therapy. So anyway, there's a news article from one day ago about that judge. It's really weird. Here, I'll show you guys. Look at this shit. Judge Fischer, Jennifer Fischer, not Jenna Fischer. She's from The Office. Jennifer Fischer faces formal misconduct complaint. Look at this shit. The Minnesota Board on Judicial Standards has filed a formal complaint with the Minnesota Supreme Court against District Court Judge Jennifer K. Fischer of Kandiyohi County, citing misconduct and retaliation. Hold on. Hold up. So here's how this works. It's like the ethics board for the lawyer's professional responsibility office. There's the board on judicial standards. And what they do is people submit complaints to them about a judge, and then they make an evaluation and then a recommendation. That recommendation is then taken to the Supreme Court, and in the case of a judge, in the Supreme Court will then make a determination on their recommendations. All right. I didn't have anything to do with this. But look at what she's accused of. The complaint alleges Fischer violated a 2023 disciplinary agreement. So while I was saying this is crazy. While I was saying this, she was doing the shit I was saying. She was doing her bad behavior and had to sign a disciplinary agreement in 2023. And then she violates that agreement by retaliating against colleagues and attorneys who had cooperated in a prior investigation. She's accused of filing baseless complaints, making inappropriate statements about other judges' mental health and addictions, and displaying erratic courtroom behavior. It's almost like I was vulgar and I was profane, but I was telling the truth. In her response, Fischer has since been removed from all hearing duties and reassigned to administrative work. In her response, Judge Fischer denied wrongdoing and claimed the case as retaliation for whistleblowing in her past medical leave. A special panel will now be appointed to review the case and recommend possible sanctions. So she's fighting this. But guys, you know what's crazy? Let's take a moment here. This judge is accused of retaliating against people and displaying erratic behavior. This judge issued a warrant based on a video in which I made very specific, very vulgar comments about her. I'm supposed to believe that a judge who signed a warrant request in 4 minutes had no idea about the vulgar personal comments that I had made about her by name. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be monitoring this judge's disciplinary action very, very closely. K Michael 456 says you plead so it doesn't matter. Oh, it might matter. It might matter. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. This is very, very interesting to me. And I'm very interested in how it turns out. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm not crazy. I may be a jackass. I may have been completely out of control at the time, and I was. And my, obviously my biggest regret is how it ended up impacting my family life. That's the biggest regret from all of that. But this shit was happening. It was happening with that person.